September 11, 2020, a settlement agreement was filed between 10 bank downhill homeowners on Loren Drive, plaintiffs, and 10 uphill homeowners on Monona Drive, defendants. Plaintiffs alleged rainwater was flowing over the bank from every Monona Drive property owner, compromising their banks. The plaintiffs funded a team of surveyors that documented all Dobbin rainwater flowing to Monona Drive through a large redundant French drain system. 2 California-registered professional engineers reviewed the surveyor's topographical maps for Dobbin and concluded all water drainage flows toward Monona Drive, not the bank. Dynasty 2 Trust, Dennis Dobbin, hereinafter Dobbin, filed a separate lawsuit against Loren Drive homeowners for knowingly and flagrantly violating the 1959 Severin Land Company covenants, conditions, and restrictions. Among other things, this served to maintain the unstable bank, filled with subsurface water, also known as underground streams. Dobbin's lawsuit alleged and documented the downhill homeowners failed to maintain their bank in compliance with the CC and RS, depriving uphill homeowners of their highly valuable views, jeopardizing and compromising the stability of their bank, uncontrolled volunteer trees, bushes, and weeds posing a significant fire danger, and subsequently threatening several Monona Drive homes and Dobbin's backyard. Dobbin contacted the president of the San Diego Sierra Club, who recommended a well-known and highly acclaimed landscaping firm, Firebreak Solutions, knowledgeable in stabilizing steep banks. Dobbin invited Firebreak Solutions to review each Loren Drive bank property and generate a quote. The court awarded a judgment of approximately $100,000 to perform said work. Dobbin's legal team placed the $100,000 in a Dixie-line escrow fund, intended to remove illegal and highly dangerous vegetation, install irrigation, and then plant approved fire-retardant vegetation to stabilize the bank. Dobbin was also awarded a consideration of $20,000 for pain and suffering. It was shown the original 1959 fence and the graded backyard was partially on the Loren Drive properties. As part of the settlement, Dobbin was granted an easement, plus 6 feet beyond the fence line to maintain the fence. The September 2020 signed agreement states vegetation blocking the views of Monona Drive homeowners must be removed. Dobbin's insurance company, AAA, also contributed $50,000 to the bank stabilization settlement. On June 20, 2022, the Loren Drive and Monona Drive homeowners were invited to a kickoff briefing with the contractor and engineer. Upon arrival at the residence of the Loren Drive homeowner, all Monona Drive homeowners were immediately informed this meeting was only for the Loren Drive homeowners, the contractor, and the engineer. All Monona Drive homeowners were abruptly asked to depart immediately. We asked when the work was scheduled to commence, and we were told, "Why do you care?" Amy Dobbin responded, "Because I work 12 hours on night shifts as a registered nurse at UCSD, and sleep during the day." In passing, Joe Azar, Unlimited Drilling and Foundations, informed Dobbin that the soil and vegetation in the area of the fence easement would not be stabilized, reinforced, or vegetation installed, at which point we were shown the door. A Loren Drive homeowner stated, "We are not trying to hide anything from you." However, Amy Stevens politely stated, "It sure sounds like you are." The settlement states all Monona homeowners are to be kept apprised of the work through a homeowner on Monona Drive, Mr. Fuentes. This never happened. That Monona Drive home has changed hands twice since then, while the contractors, engineers, and attorney/homeowner went silent. This is a significant violation of the agreement. Dobbin and Mr. Stevens independently contacted the contractor, Joe Azar, regarding destabilizing the easement area. Joe Azar stated Mr. Dobbin's daughter, Amy Stevens, informed one of the Loren Drive neighbors that the easement could not be touched. Amy Stevens later said she had never made this statement. Dobbin asked which neighbor told Joe Azar this story. The contractor refused to respond. Joe Azar later stated, "You signed a contract stipulating the easement could not be touched." We commented that 3 attorneys and a City of San Diego surveyor reviewed this easement and found no such stipulation. Please define where it is in the contract. Joe Azar responded, "Well, you signed it." We provided Joe Azar a legal encroachment permit, suggested by the City of La Mesa Engineering Department website, authorizing the bank repair associated with the easement. No acknowledgement was ever made. However, Joe Azar later handed Mr. Dobbin and Mr. Stevens a new contract, stipulating the bank would be repaired at no cost if we agreed to the full use of our property, holding contractors harmless in perpetuity, stipulating no warranty implied or expressed, and promising never sue anyone involved for substandard workmanship. We stated we wanted our view back. Trees, bushes, and weeds need to be removed immediately, as agreed to in the agreement. His response was, "I could remove them, but I don't have that landscape contract." So we waited since September 2020 with our highly valuable views destroyed, and it remains that way today. Another blatant violation of the signed agreement. As clearly shown in the drone videos, a new wall and access road now reside on the excavated hillside. Compounding the bank and fence instability, multiple unauthorized surveyors were hopping the fence, which has resulted in our property sliding down the hill, day by day. Large chunks of the hillside and property directly behind our home fell into the excavated pathway before being covered by the fabric. In addition, the work over the past 4 years resulted in an invasion of gophers and gopher holes on the bank and on our neighbor's property. Stevens set several gopher traps, and though somewhat successful, we were overwhelmed. Due to the bank collapse and rodent infestation, we stopped maintaining the lawn to discourage the burrowing rodents until the work was complete. As you can easily see, the bank itself is perforated and compromised by numerous gopher holes. We anticipated installing a fence, but the soil has collapsed onto the work excavated, so we have little soil remaining. In addition, the ice plant and jade plants are extremely heavy, obviously irrigated by the underground streams that permeate the area, that resulted in the original bank landslide, several homes to the west. You can judge by the vegetation's deep green color, and no lawn vegetation being watered, the bank is being well irrigated by subsurface water. Left unattended, it continues to pull the fence and soil over the bank. Last week, almost 4 years after the settlement, they finally cut down several huge trees blocking our views, years after the agreement was signed, yet the construction contractors decided to leave other vegetation intentionally blocking our view untouched.